Hey guys, I've been requested to do some more cooking videos since I like to post a lot of what I cook on Facebook because I'm a foodie. I love it. So I'm halfway, well I say halfway, but I'm partly into cooking tonight's dinner and thought y'all might want to see this since we're cooking goat. So come on, let me show you what we're doing. I have been totally enamored with this cookbook. I've had it, well my mom had it before I did. I think I bought it for her for Christmas one year and it's amazing. So I decided since we're running low on other kinds of meats in our refrigerator, we do have some goat and I found this recipe here, stewed lamb in chili sauce. Well, I didn't have any lamb, but I do have a goat shoulder. So we're going to do this. I took the goat shoulder. This calls for lamb ribs or shanks, but the shoulder ought to work. And it's frozen. And I took it, and you missed the part with the hacksaw. I mean, like, seriously. That was the big part. Because I love the Instant Pot. You see this here? This thing will take a frozen hunk of stew meat and turn it into something tender and falling off the bone in an hour. But the problem was the bone wouldn't fit in the pot. So you missed that fun part, but right now we've got our goat shoulder cut into 2 pieces, thrown into this pot with some water, bay leaf, salt and pepper, onions, and garlic. I've been making Oaxaca all day, and I've started to take some of the Oaxaca. I'm not using this in this dinner, but I have it sitting out here, so I just wanted to show you. And I make some of it into mozzarella and some of it into the Oaxaca balls. It's like 2 cheeses with 1 recipe, so be sure to check out that video. For vegetable, we're going to do these acorn squashes. I found these at Aldi. Aren't they nice? It's raining out. Excuse the water and thunder noise in the background. And I'm just going to cut these in half this way so they make a star pattern. Like that. And then put your halves face down in a sprayed casserole dish with about a ½ inch of water at the bottom. While your goat is cooking, preheat the oven to 350 and bake these until they're soft. They'll probably take about, I don't know, 35 to 50 minutes, just depending on the size. So check them after about 35 minutes and keep checking them. Okay, this recipe calls for 3 different types of chile, and I don't have all 3 of these. It calls for 4 guajillos, and I don't have those, so I'm imagining these are going to work. These I grew, not really even sure what they were. They're spicy and yummy, and I dried them. And we're going to, little cayennes. Okay, so we're going to throw those on there. And it calls for 3 anchos, and I do have a bag of anchos. My poblanos never make it to ancho stage, so I always eat them first. So, aren't these pretty? I'll throw 3 of those. Got a little cast iron skillet over here, and I just want to toast up these chiles. And once we've got it toasted up, we're going to remove the stems and the seeds and the placentas from them to remove a lot of the heat, and then soak them in the hot water for 20 minutes. I'm going to wear gloves to get the seeds out of these chiles because I will invariably go rub my eye or something and be on fire for the rest of the night. So I got some gloves, pulling the chiles off the heat. Let them cool down, and I'm just going to break them open, take the seeds out like this, take well these are kind of too small to get the placentas out, but most of that heat is carried in the seeds and the placentas. I'm going to drop them in the hot water. Toasting them like that really softened them up to make it easier to work. While we are soaking those chilies, we're going to get the rest of the spices together that we need to go in the chili sauce. You need 6 cloves of garlic. These are kind of small, we'll go with extra. We need, let's see, called for a sprig of thyme, but as you can see we're having a thunderstorm, so I'm just going to put a little pinch of dried thyme in there, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. A teaspoon of cumin, 2 bay leaves, a 1/4 teaspoon of marjoram. Running out of marjoram. Gotta buy some more of that. There we go. A 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And about 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm gonna smash these garlics and peel them. Just throw them in the blender because it's all gonna get mixed up, so I just need to get the skins off them. The garlic mushroom magically reappears. Good. It's about time for me to smash some more garlic. While I'm waiting for our chilies to rehydrate, I'm going to cut up the garnishes, which is going to be fresh cilantro. I always try to keep this around. Limes and fresh sweet onion. So let's get this stuff cut up. Garnish done. Let's get our chili tea done here. My son says this smells like tea, but he doesn't want to drink it. I'm going to put the chilies into the blender with all of our herbs and spices and garlic. And then it calls for a cup of the water that I soaked it in. See, I didn't use a whole lot of water because we want some of that flavor. So I'm going to take a cup because I think I had a little more than a cup. Throw that in there and we're going to whiz that up. That smells spicy and earthy and delicious. Now we're just waiting on our meat to finish cooking. We did an hour on that shoulder in the Instant Pot. Okay, I actually let these in here about 50 minutes. I still have to milk tonight and so I'm getting lazy. So I pulled those out. I'm going to let them cool down and take the stock that's in the pot here and strain it. It's got some onions and garlic and stuff floating, so I just want that nice and clear. Strain that and put it back in. The recipe said you needed about 12 cups. This, according to this, looks like, it has numbers, but I can't read it. It looks like it's saying liters, and I don't do liters, so I think this one's got cups. Nah, we're gonna eyeball that and say it's good enough. I put gloves back on so I didn't burn my hands too much. This has been in the pressure cooker, so it's real hot. I'm just gonna clean up this meat. I'm gonna cut any membrane off of it. Use my tongs too because it's really hot. And then just kind of cube it up and put it back into the pot once I got the bones out and everything. Okay, I've got this all cut up into bite-sized chunks. I'm going to put it back into the Instant Pot. It's not quite tender yet. But now that it's all cleaned up, we're going to cook it again. It'll get there. I'll take these gloves off. Alright, so next add the pepper sauce that we blended up with all the spices. You see that? And I'm going to turn the Instant Pot back on for another 30 minutes to get this stuff, all the flavors into that meat and get that meat cooked real tender. Squashes are out of the oven. I'm going to take a spoon, flip them over, and scoop the seeds out of the middle. Hollow them out. Dogs are going to be happy tonight for their doggy bowl. I'm going to put a pat of butter in each one of these, and no, it's not goat butter. Goat butter is kind of hard to make, and it's just different. It's hard for me to keep up with enough of it, just way too much work. So just pat of butter in each one. Put about a half a teaspoon of brown sugar. Some salt and pepper. And throw those back in the oven. I turn the heat off on the oven, but just to keep them warm until we're ready to eat. I'm getting really hungry now that we're done with milking. So we're gonna check what we got going on in this Instant Pot. It sure smells good. Let's let the steam out. Come on. Fix up a bowl here. It is like peppery and meaty goodness. So just doctor that up. Throw a tortilla on the side. Grab a squash. Dinner is served.